Okay, sorry, I was just getting a few things set up. The, give me a minute. Okay, so today we'll be talking about a specific type of Yu-Gi-Oh deck. Thinking of making a series on YouTube of this. But it's going to be small, short videos of me explaining Yu-Gi-Oh decks, at least explaining them as quick and easily as possible. We're going to not be talking about a Flower Guardian deck, but we'll be talking about the Yu-Gi-Oh decks I use. There's going to be some banned cards in these. These are kind of just dual book decks. So, don't be expecting to use these in tournaments, obviously. Um, we're talking about a Lunalight deck today. Obviously, y'all know what a Lunalight deck probably is if you guys are any big Yu-Gi-Oh fans, but, yeah, no, this is the deck I use, and it makes a lot of people quit against me, so it's saddening, honestly, but this is just me showing how to make a good Lunalight deck in the game. That makes sense. So today we'll be talking about the Lunalight archetype, obviously, as said, and we'll be talking about, first off, we're going to be starting with the deck, and then we'll go to the extra deck. So we have 3 Lunalight Black Sheeps, 2 Lunalight Blue Cats, 3. I fucked up. Wait, where's all my counting? Okay, no, here it is. So we have 3 Lunalight Black Cats. Black Sheep, 2 Lunalight Blue Cats, 3 Crimson Foxes. I don't know why there's a Crimson Fox right there, but there is. That's weird. 3 Lunalight Emerald Birds. No, okay, so it is 3 Blue Cats. So basically 3 of all these. Okay, let me rephrase this. Oh, damn, this is already a good video. So we got 3 Lunalight Black Sheeps, 3 Lunalight Blue Cats, 3 Lunalight Crimson Fox, 3 Lunalight Emerald Bird, 3 Lunalight Kaleido Chicks, 3 Lunalight Yellow Martins, and 3 Lunalight Purple Butterflies, 3 White Rabbits, and 1 Lunalight Tiger, and 2 Lunalight Wolves. And for spell cards, you're going to need 3 Lunalight Fusions, 3 Polymerizations, 2 Future Fusions. Future Fusion is a banned card, just a heads up. So it was banned in tournament anyways, because of it being too busted, because of people always putting 5-headed dragon in their deck and then just pulling it out. And for always you who don't, I'll be explaining what cards do in a bit. And I got 3 Lunalight Perfumes, 1 Fire Formation Tenki, Foolish Burial Goods. Well, 2 Foolish Burial Goods. We have Called by the Grave, Pot of Desires, 2 Lunalight Serenade Dances, and 2 Lunalight Reincarnation Dance. And then in extra deck, you're going to want 2 Lunalight Cat Dancers, 2 Lunalight Leo Dancers, 2 Lunalight Panther Dancers, and 2 Lunalight Saber Dancers. This looks similar to an online deck, and honestly, it's not based off of that. I actually made this Lunalight deck based on myself, not actually from online, because I did look at the online one. I was like, this looks really similar, but obviously I did throw in a few of my own cards, such as Future Fusion. I did put in 2 more of each of these, and the one online prompted for 3 Lunalight Black Sheeps and 2 of these guys, and then the rest of these had 3, and then there was just 2 of all the others, so I put in 3 of everything, because of the fact that I thought it'd be better, and I added some more spell cards, obviously. The Lunalight Black Sheep is a good card to have because of the fact that since its effect is you can discard this card from your hand, then activate one of these effects, add 1 Lunalight monster from your graveyard to your hand, except Lunalight Black Sheep, or add 1 Polymerization from your deck to your hand. And also, here's the other added effect. If this card is sent to the graveyard as fusion material or a fusion summon, you can add to your hand one face-up Lunalight Pendulum monster from your extra deck, or one Lunalight monster from your graveyard except Lunalight Black Sheep to your hand. Now, this is really good in a Lunalight deck because most of your Lunalights are going to be sent to the graveyard via an effect, or they activate an effect being in the graveyard, or they get banished. So this is actually pretty good in Black Sheep. Since there's 3 of them, it hits really hard. This also means that you can keep on getting a polymerization into your hand, helping you with your fusion summoning. Lunalight Blue Cat, if this card is... If this card is special summoned, you can target one Lunalight monster you control, except Lunalight Blue Cat's attack becomes double its original attack until the end of this turn. You can only use the effect of Lunalight Blue Cat once per turn. If this card is on the field is destroyed by battle or card effect, you can special summon one Lunalight monster from your deck. So Lunalight Blue Cat is a really good monster to have as well, due to the fact that you can get another Lunalight monster on the field if it's destroyed by battle or card effect. And mixed in with this, it also can double one of your Lunalight monster's attacks. Then we got Lunalight Crimson Fox. Lunalight Crimson Fox. If this card is sent to the graveyard by a card effect, you can target one face-up monster your opponent controls. Change its attack to 0 until the end of this turn. When this card is active, when a card or effect is activated that targets a Lunalight monster you control, quick effect, you can banish this card from your graveyard and negate the activation. If you do, each player gains 1,000 life points. This one is like it's a good double-edged blade, I guess. Well, because yes, it may negate your opponent, but they're gaining life points in the process. But you're definitely getting better benefit out of it, so that's why it's good. Lunalight Emerald Bird. Lunalight Emerald Bird, if this card is a normal or special summon, you can send one Lunalight monster from your hand to the graveyard, and if you do, draw one card. If this card is sent to the graveyard by a card effect, you can target one of your level 4 or lower Lunalight monsters in your banished or in your graveyard except Lunalight Emerald Bird. Special summon it in defense mode, but negate its effects. If you can use the effect of Lunalight Emerald Bird once per turn. So, in order for each of these effects, so this also means that you can use all of these in one turn, but you can only use it once per turn. This means that once it's summoned, you can normal summon or special. Okay, so when it's summoned, you can send one Lunalight monster from your hand to the graveyard and then draw one card. This can help you with benefit of the doubt to the fact that it doesn't say it has to be a Lunalight monster, which means you can send something like Lunalight Perfume to the graveyard, or one of the trap cards, or like one of the guys like one of the ones that does something if they're in the graveyard, which is good. And then also if also you can target one of the and you can special summon a Lunalight monster. When this card is dies by a card effect, you can target a Lunalight monster that's in your banished zone or in your graveyard, but it has to be level 4 or lower, and summon it, which is really good because there are some that involve banishment, which I remember. I think that goes for some of the extra deck, and also some I think Purple Butterfly and Yellow Martin do that. So we go to Lunalight Kaleido Jekyll. Lunalight Kaleido Jekyll, once per turn you can send one Lunalight monster from your deck or extra deck to the graveyard. The name of this face-up card on the field can be treated as that sent monster. This helps with fusion summoning. If this is used as fusion material this turn, if this card was sent to the graveyard by a card effect, you can target one of a polymerization in your graveyard, add it to your hand, and you can only use the effect of Lunalight Kaleido Jekyll once per turn. If this card is banished, you can activate the effect of this turn. Your opponent's cards and effects cannot be activated during the battle phase. So basically, if this is sent to the graveyard, you can add one poly to your hand. Also, this card helps with fusion summoning, due to the fact that since you can send a monster this is why you put double of everything, because of the fact that you can only get Leo Dancer on the field as if you have Panther Dancer on the field. But see, you can send a Panther Dancer to the graveyard and your Kaleido chick's name would become Panther Dancer. Pull up the polymerization. All you need is 2 more Lunalights and that one, and your Kaleido chick, who is now Panther Dancer, and then you can get Leo Dancer, which is the strongest Lunalight monster in this deck, other than Saber Dancer. Lunalight Yellow Martin. If this card is in your hand or graveyard, you can target one Lunalight monster you control except Lunalight Yellow Martin, return it to the hand, and if you do, special summon this card in defense mode, but banish this card when it leaves the field. If this card is in your graveyard it was sent to your graveyard by a card effect, you can add one Lunalight spell or trap card from your deck to your hand. You can only use each effective Lunalight Yellow Martin once per turn, which means you can get Lunalight Perfume into your hand. Lunalight Perfume is by far one of the most important cards in this deck, other than Lunalight Fusion. Probably more important, honestly, because this card is really good in a pinch. And then we go to Lunalight Purple Butterfly. Lunalight Purple Butterfly, you can send this card from your hand to the graveyard, then to target one Lunalight monster with you. You control it, gains 1,000 attack until the end of this turn. You can banish this card from your graveyard, special summon one Lunalight monster from your hand, and if you can only use you can only use the effect of Lunalight Purple Butterfly once per turn, which means if this card's in you can send this card from your hand to the graveyard, make one of your monsters stronger, and mix that in with Lunalight Blue Cat. Double the attack, and also gets that 1,000 attack point buff. It's really broken. In a combo wise, if you can't get a fusion summon out right away. But also you can banish this card and then special summon one Lunalight monster from your hand, which means you can get some really good stuff, honestly. The last Lunalight monster in the normal deck, which is Lunalight White Rabbit. When this card's normal summon, you can target one Lunalight monster in your graveyard except Lunalight White Rabbit special summon in defense mode, which means if the moment you summon this, you can get another Lunalight on the field. And then once per turn, you can target one spell or trap card your opponent controls up to the number of Lunalight cards you control. Return them to the hand, which this card also helps remove cards off your opponent's field, which is really fucking good. But then we go to Lunalight Tiger and Lunalight Wolf. Lunalight Tiger, once per turn you can target one Lunalight monster in your graveyard, special summon it, but it cannot attack. Its effects are negated, and also it is destroyed during the end phase. This would allow you to bring out one Lunalight monster to do a fusion. That would be which helps a lot. And not to mention that's just its pendulum effect, and this thing has a pendulum scale of 5. While Lunalight Wolf has a pendulum scale of 1, which means that once you get them out, you can normal summon any of the other Lunalights in the normal deck, as long as you have the pendulum scale out, and you have to have them in your hand, obviously. But for Lunalight Tiger, its monster effect, if this card is on the field, is destroyed by battle or card effect, you can ban it. You can target one Lunalight monster in your graveyard, special summon it. You can only use the effect of Lunalight Tiger once per turn. It's really only good if it's in the pendulum zone. Same thing with Lunalight Wolf. Lunalight Wolf, you cannot pendulum summon monsters except Lunalight monsters. This effect cannot be negated. Once per turn, you can fusion summon one Lunalight fusion monster from your extra deck by banishing the fusion material listed from your field or graveyard. This is the best one to have in your pendulum zone. Even if you don't get the Tiger out, you can put Lunalight Wolf in there, and that effect can be activated. So, if a Lunalight monster you control attacks a defense-position monster, inflict piercing damage. So that's its normal effect. This is a piercing damage Lunalight, which is really good. It's a level 6, though. So, it's iffy. But now, Lunalight Fusion, Lunalight Fusion allows you to fusion summon one Lunalight Fusion monster from your extra by using monsters in your hand or field as fusion material. If your opponent controls a monster that was special summoned from the extra deck, you can also use one Lunalight monster from your deck or extra deck as fusion material. You can only activate one Lunalight Fusion per turn. Which means that if your opponent is special summon from the extra deck, you can also use one Lunalight monster from your extra deck, which also helps summon this stuff easier. As you already know, polymerization is just used for fusion summon. You can fusion summon one monster by using monsters from your field or your hand. Future Fusion, what Future Fusion does is, during your first standby phase, after this card is activated, you show one fusion monster from your extra deck, and then send the fusion materials listed on it from your main deck to the graveyard, so it has to be a monster in your main deck, which means from these, it can't be anything from this.
Then during the second standby phase after this card's activation, so you gotta wait 2 turns after the activation. You fusion summon that fusion monster from the extra deck. With the same name as the monster you showed, and then target it with this card. When this card leaves the field, destroy that target. When that target is destroyed, destroy this card. So essentially, this thing stays on the field until that monster dies. Because this is a continuous spell, because you special summon it via this continuous spell, and this continuous spell stays on the field until that future monster is dead. But also, if they get rid of this this continuous spell, that fusion monster is dead. Lunalight Perfume, target one Lunalight monster in your graveyard, special summon it. You can banish this card from the graveyard and then discard one card, add one Lunalight monster from your deck to your hand. So this basically says you can activate it, special summon one Lunalight monster from the graveyard, which means you can bring back any of these extra deck cards or any of these guys, bring it back to the field. And then you would banish this card from the graveyard, but then send a card from your hand to the graveyard, and then you can add any Lunalight monster you want from your deck to your hand. That's why this one's really important in this deck. Then Fire Formation Tenkai. When this card's activated, you can add one level 4 or lower Beast Warrior monster from your deck to your hand. All Beast Warrior monsters you control gain 100 attack. You can only use one fire attack information per turn, which means this card will increase all of your Lunalights. Since they're all Beast Warriors, all their attack points will go up by 100. And mixed in with this, you can add one Lunalight from your deck to your hand, basically. Then we got Foolish Burial. This allows just send one spell or trap card from your deck to the graveyard. You can only activate one Foolish Burial goods per turn, which means that you can send those Lunalight Perfumes to the graveyard and just call it good. We got Called by the Grave. Target one monster in your opponent's graveyard, banish it, and if you do until the end of the next turn, its effects are negated, as well as the activated effects and the effects on the field of monsters with the same original name. So basically, you banish a card, and they can't use its card effects, but also any monster of the same name can't use its effects either. Until the until the next turn. Then we got Pot of Desire. Banish 10 cards from the top of your deck, face down, draw 2 cards, and you can only activate one Pot of Desire per turn, which means that this gets rid of a big chunk of your deck, but you get to draw 2 cards, and those 2 cards can be the best cards in your life. But this card is more of a last measure kind of deal, I guess. I've never really had to use Lunalight Serenade Dance or Lunalight Reincarnation Dance. Well, I've had to use Reincarnation Dance, but I've never really used Serenade Dance. Reincarnation Dance, if a monster you control is destroyed by battle or card effect, add up to 2 Lunalight monsters from your deck to your hand. You can only activate 1 Lunalight Reincarnation Dance per turn. This will allow you to get more Lunalights in your hand the moment one of your monsters is destroyed by battle or card effect. And then you got Lunalight Serenade Dance, which says, when a fusion monster is fusion summoned to your field, except during the damage step, you can target one of those monsters, apply these effects in sequence, special summon 1 Lunalight token. It's a Beast Warrior level 4 monster with 2,000 attack, 2,000 defense to your opponent's field. Or that target gains 500 attack for each monster your opponent controls. During the main phase, you can banish this card from your graveyard, send 1 card from your hand to the graveyard, and if you do, special summon 1 Lunalight monster from your deck. You can only use the effect of Lunalight Serenade Dance once per turn. This card comes in handy. I've only ever used it to get that extra attack in, and then I've never had to leave the field after that, because most people don't do that. Another thing, so now we're going to go to the extra deck. The entirety of the extra deck is Lunalight Cat Dancer, Lunalight Panther Dancer, Lunalight Leo Dancer, and Lunalight Saber Dancer. Now, let's go to Cat Dancer. Cat Dancer only needs 2 Lunalight monsters. Also, this one cannot be destroyed by battle. Once per turn during your main phase, you contribute 1 other Lunalight monster for the rest of this turn. The first time each monster your opponent controls would be destroyed by a battle, it is not destroyed. Also, this card can attack all monsters your opponent controls twice each this turn. if this card declares an attack, inflict 100 damage to your opponent, which means every time this thing attacks, it's dealing 100 points of damage to your opponent plus the battle damage, and also it stops that monster from being destroyed, and it can attack again. So this card gets to attack every monster your opponent controls twice, and also mixed in with this, after hitting them all twice, it deals 100 damage for each hit it puts in. So, yeah, no, Lunalight Cat Dancer is kind of cracked. Then we go to Lunalight Panther Dancer, which needs fusion summon by using Lunalight Cat Dancer, and one Lunalight monster must be fusion summoned with the above fusion materials, cannot be destroyed by your opponent's card effects once per turn. During the main phase 1, you can activate this effect for the rest of this turn. For the first time each monster your opponent controls would be destroyed by battle, it is not destroyed, and this card can attack all monsters your opponent controls twice each turn. If this card destroys an opponent's monster by battle, it gains 200 attack until the end of the turn. So every time this monster would destroy an opponent's monster, it would gain an extra 200 attack points, and it can attack everything twice, making sure that it can kill everything. In dealing double damage. It's like a cat dancer, but better. Then we got Leo Dancer, which is Panther Dancer, plus 2 Lunalight monsters must be fused similar to above fusion materials. Your opponent cannot target this card with card effects. Also, it cannot be destroyed by your opponent's card effects. So this thing is not, the other one just said it couldn't be destroyed by your opponent's card effects. This one can't even be targeted or destroyed. No, so I think, Panther Dancer was, yeah, just destroyed. This one can't be targeted at all. It also cannot be destroyed by your opponent's card effects. This card can make a second attack during each battle phase once per turn at the end of the damage step. If this card attacked a monster, you can destroy all special summon monsters your opponent controls. So essentially what this thing is that it can attack only twice. It can't attack every monster twice, but that's due to the fact that this thing will kill every extra deck special summon, basically anything that was summoned anyway, but not a normal summon. They're all dead after this thing attacks. And then we got Lunalight Saber Dancer. Now, the reason why I say Leo Dancer is probably the second strongest is due to the fact of what Lunalight Saber Dancer can do. All Lunalight Saber Dancer needs is 3 Lunalight monsters, must be fusion summoned, gains 200 attack for each beast warrior in your banished or in your graveyard. So this card could have more attack than this. This thing is a 3,500 attack point monster, and so let's just say if you had these all in your graveyard, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, so you'd be dealing with a 6,800 additional attack points. So you'd be dealing with 9,800 attack points if every Lunalight monster was in the graveyard, but that's most likely not going to happen. But, also, and this is also just banished in graveyard, which means every Lunalight in your graveyard is perfect. You want them in the graveyard, but you also want to keep some out of the graveyard and keep them coming on the field to do more stuff. Your opponent cannot target this card with card effects during your main phase, except the turn this card was sent to the graveyard. You can banish this card from your graveyard and then target one fusion monster you control. It gains 3,000 attack until the end of this turn. You can only use the effect of Lunalight Saber Dancer once per turn, which means if this thing manages to die, you can banish it on the turn, except for the turn it was destroyed. And for example, if you have something like Leo Dancer on the field, Leo Dancer is going to have 6,500 attack points. This entire deck is built on keeping stuff out on the field, putting stuff in the graveyard, banishing, using effects, adding more to your hand, and dishing out damage. So that's just my prop on the Lunalight deck. Hopefully you guys enjoyed this little rant, and I'll probably post another one tomorrow. Okay, and that should be it. And hopefully y'all enjoyed the video, and please check out the recommended channels, and also just check out the rest of my YouTube videos, and that's about it. Bye.